Brandin Cooks, wide receiver 49, 57 receptions, 93 targets, 699 yards, 3 touchdowns, and averaged 7.2 targets per game. Thoughts on Brandin Cooks?
I think those numbers are pretty comparable to what we're going to see this year. It is in some packages he's going to be the first, second, or third option in multiple packages, right? And again, it's not to be flippant, but you can put him in situations where he is the number one option and he will perform, right? He's another guy who he's a very good route runner. He does well with contested catches. He's a little bit more slight of frame, so some of the long rangy cornerbacks have a little bit of an easier time with him, but he's a gamer. He wants to win. He's been moved around for his talent level. He's been moved around more than any wide receiver I can think of over the course of his career, just with different teams and being traded for, first round draft picks and just kind of the craziness. But I thought it was a good signing by the Cowboys. I thought it was a good way to kind of give yourself a safety net if Michael Gallup can't stay healthy. But if he does, it's a very nice three-headed attack. Like, I like Brandin Cooks. He will take some pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. And the good thing is they both can float in and out of the slot, right? Gallup will traditionally stay outside. He's not that great at the slot. But with CeeDee Lamb and with Brandin Cooks, they can float in and out. So when they want one of those guys to specifically have off coverage, they're going to be able to scheme that up. I like Cooks. I like him late. I like him in best ball, some of these ranges. But, yeah, if I get Cooks as my fifth wide receiver, I'm not hating that. Like, I think there's some upside there as we see how the season unfolds.
I don't know that I'm even in on Brandin Cooks in a best ball format. Like last year, 2 weeks out of everything that would have been usable for best ball format.
That was Houston, right? Though, brother. Like, that was Davis Mills. At least you have Dak.
That's true. You got Dak. But, I mean, even when the guy sees about 100 targets on a season, I would expect to see better than one wide receiver 1 week and one wide receiver 2 week, and then everything else was wide receiver 3 or worse. Brandin Cooks, and even thinking back to when we covered Brandin Cooks in the past, like Brandin Cooks is a guy that'll have some blow up weeks there, and will certainly be able to do some things for you. And maybe the fact that he's not having to be the primary target on this offense actually helps him out along that way, to the point where he's probably he's going to be seeing better quality of targets, right? With the fact that it's Houston, versus Dallas. So there's a lot of that, but okay, you talked me into it. I can get down on a best ball on him this year, but I'm not looking to put him on any of my redraft rosters, just simply from the standpoint where he's kind of going right now in the draft capital there. There's a lot of other guys kind of in that similar range that I'd rather go with. I'd rather look at I'd rather take Dak Prescott as the QB if I'm in a single QB type of league than Brandin Cooks. I'd rather look at like an AJ Dillon, even Antonio Gibson, Cortland Sutton. There's a lot of guys kind of in that range that I'd rather go with. So